Hello, my name is Dr. Deb Crislett Baker, and I am the Learning Strategies Department Chair and Instructor here at VC. You may have noticed that you will be conducting a mini research project this semester, and you might be a bit concerned and worried about how you will go about doing that. Don't worry! We will walk you through every step and explain how to do it, and give you an opportunity to practice it and receive feedback before you actually complete that section. So in today's video, I'm answering a big question that you may have. What is the research process? The basic parts of a research project include the introduction, the researcher purpose information, the research question, the methods used or taken, the findings, and some type of discussion and a conclusion. I'll explain each section in future videos, but in this video, I'm going to introduce introductions. Victoria College's Total Learning Center presents Dr. Deb Explains, an overview of the research process. First, let's talk a little bit about why social and behavioral scientists do research. They seek to understand why we do what we do, so they observe, study, and report on human behavior and the human condition. Everyone has ideas and beliefs about why things happen, but research shows or proves what actually happens under research conditions. It lends more validity or truth to the ideas than merely saying that it is what someone saw or thinks. Somehow, having it occur in a research setting with everything carefully documented lends more credibility than a mere eyewitness account. After research is conducted, it is usually shared with the scientific community through the publishing of the paper in a journal. Most papers, though not all, follow a similar format. The format includes some type of introduction, a section explaining the background on the topic and the reason or purpose for conducting the study, the research question, the methods used to conduct the study, the findings, a brief discussion on the impact or the potential impact of the findings, a conclusion, and a list of resources that they've used in their papers. As we explore and conduct our own research project this semester, we will take a more in-depth look at each of these sections in future videos. In today's video, we want to explore exactly what goes into the introduction and what it's supposed to do. Introductions are how the author introduces the research to the reader. This section explains what the reader will be reading and why it may be interesting. This section's like a trailer in a movie. It provides you with just enough information to keep you reading, but it doesn't contain any spoilers. Authors want readers to actually read the paper. So if they put too much information into the introduction, the readers won't read any further. Let's take a look at how some authors have introduced their research. First, Walters and Hussain investigated grit and its relationship with self-regulated learning and academic achievement. In their introduction, they start with why self-regulated learning is important in the very first sentence. Then they provide some context from all of the studies that were done before getting to the purpose of their study, to advance this area of research by investigating the relation of grit, SRL, and academic achievement. Then they provide a bit more context before ending their introduction with why their study is important. It addresses this gap by exploring whether grit can be used to predict 7 indicators of college students' engagement in SRL, and whether grit and SRL together can be used to understand students' academic achievement. Walters and Hussain didn't explain any of their findings or even hint at what their study found. Don't you just want to read this article to see if grit can predict college students' engagement? In another example, Petty investigated first-generation college students and motivating them toward academic success and college completion. Petty begins the introduction by stating the importance of the topic, that first-generation students are a major force in colleges before giving some background information on past studies with first-generation students. Then, at the end of the introduction section, Petty explains the purpose of this study, which is threefold. 1. Explore barriers faced by first-generation students. 2. Give an overview of Maslow's hierarchy of needs and McClelland's need for achievement theories. And 3. To provide a theoretical approach to how these theories can be used to motivate first-generation students. Again, PETI provides a great deal of background knowledge, but no specific details about how this study was conducted. This is designed to entice the reader to continue reading, to see if first-generation students can be motivated in these ways. Finally, Kim and Ra conducted research on the factors that impact success in college based on the perceptions of Korean students. They begin the introduction with the fact that educators wonder what impacts college student success. They then provide background research on what has previously been explored before ending their introduction with the teaser, that college students who perform well on IQ tests sometimes fail in college, while less able students perform much better. This introduction doesn't even really address the study being conducted. It just states that no one seems to know why some students succeed and others don't. All of these examples are a bit lengthy, but they are published scientific research studies. However, they mostly do the same things. They state why the research is important and tell why they are researching the topic. And they try to do it in a way that entices the reader to keep reading. If you want to know more about the research process, click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for more videos as Dr. Deb explains.